Continuing with our showcase page, I have a second section that features an artifact that is more geared towards a graphic design piece. So I'm going to scroll down and show you my mock-up here. And the reason why I've set this up is so that you can insert a nice large image to display that artifact. In the past, when we've done our portfolios and year one portfolios, you could only feature a small version of, say, a graphic design piece. And so I thought, since we do so many graphic design assignments in CSB, why not have a section that really highlights one of your favorite pieces? So that's what this section is more or less geared towards. And it's a pretty easy, quick section in this tutorial. So let's tab over to Dreamweaver real quick and let's get started. Remember, we just finished off the first tutorial with a video artifact. You could switch that out for something else, maybe another graphic design piece, but we're going to put this graphic design piece right underneath it. So I'm looking for that closing div tag from that first section, and I'm just going to click on the closing div tag here on the bottom to look where the top starts and place my cursor right after that. I'm looking for that break class clear again to make sure that I'm before that. So hit the enter return key, and we are continuing with our practice of making sure that we clear any kind of floating issues or anything like that from one section to the next. So I'm going to insert that break class clear, hit the enter return key, and we're going to put this in our secondary container with that gray background. So left caret div class SE or a contents secondary contain. Actually, it's a secondary wrap. So scroll down there to content secondary wrap, right caret, and then enter return key, left caret / and then move your cursor up in between and tab in. So next we need to nest that second div class called content secondary contain. So left caret div class content secondary contain, right caret, and then enter return key, left caret /. Move your cursor up in between those two and tab in. And we're going to start this off with an image, but before we insert our image, we're going to go ahead and link the full version of this file. So we're going to create the image as a link. So we're going to type in left caret a href, and we're going to browse for it, and I have this saved in obviously my Sinks Jeremy portfolio folder, and it goes in my work samples. It's in my work sample folder, and it's an image. This is the same image that I'm going to insert, but if, say, this was a poster that you created for exhibition or another poster that you created in CSB, this would be the place to link the full version of it. So I'm going to go ahead and click open there, and we're going to go ahead and do this as a target blank right after that, and right caret, hit the enter return key a couple times, left caret / so you know that you're going to nest this image in between that A element. Move your cursor up in between and then tab in. This is where we're going to insert our image. So left caret img src and enter return to browse for the file, and this is going to be our responsive web design PNG. Click open, space. We need to add an alt key, and we're going to call this I'm just going to call this responsive design. And move your cursor after that quotation mark, / and right caret. We did forget something, or I forgot something. We want to center this image within our page here. So I want to insert that same type of div align center, the div tag we applied in our image, or our video in the previous tutorial. So I'm going to place my cursor right before that href element, hit the enter return key, and then move my cursor above it. Left caret div, and remember, no class, no ID, just div align center, and then right caret. And let's make sure that we tab things in again, since we are nesting this within this div container. So I'm going to place my cursor right before that href element and tab in. Do the same thing for the image, do the same thing for the closing A tag, and then make sure that I need to close this div tag. I haven't closed that yet. So I'm going to place my cursor right before this closing div tag to my content secondary contain right there, and hit the enter return key, move my cursor up, and then tab in, so that way when I close this div tag, I have that pyramid shape going on with my code. Okay, last but not least, we need to insert a description of this image. So I'm going to hit the enter return key, and I'm just going to copy and paste a set of lorem ipsum text from above. So I'm just going to highlight that, grab it, Control C, Command C, move my cursor below where I left that opening space, right underneath that div align center, right underneath that closing div tag, and then paste it in there, Command V or Control V. Go ahead and save this real quick and preview it in our browser. Scroll down and make sure our image is centered. Make sure that when I hover over it, I get the hand symbol so that I know that it's a link. And you know what I did forget is I forgot to insert a heading 1 tag to go with my artifact here. So I'm going to tab over to my Dreamweaver piece, and I want to put this right above the image. So I'm going to locate that div align center tag, hit the enter return key, move my cursor up above there, left caret H1, right caret, and then this is my graphic design artifact. You should probably give it a better name, like say 2016 BIS exhibition poster or something like that. Alright, that should do it for this tutorial. Make sure you save everything. In the next tutorial, we're going to wrap up the showcase page with a 3-column design for 3 different artifacts.